Welcome back to Oldies Gold on CTV, the People's Channel, where we not only count the years, but make the years count.
And I am Sybil. Xapa. Welcome to our channel. Oldies Gold. Igolide enexabiso. Endala siyayazi igolide inexabiso elinjani.
So, Sybil, today we're going to continue talking about health, but a different aspect of health, because we often think that health is just about the aches and pains and the comorbidities and so on. But today we're going to be talking about deep wellness, the wellness that comes from deep inside of us. It embraces our whole body, mind, and spirit, and very often the traumas and the pain and the grief that we accumulate throughout our lifetime, we tend to keep inside of us, and it actually makes us ill. So today we're going to be looking at how we can be totally whole and well. And we're going to be talking to Dr. Jude Clarke, who has developed a series of retreats on deep wellness. So we're going to join us while we listen to Dr. Jude Clarke talk about her program promoting deep wellness. Welcome to Oldies Gold, our program for seniors on the People's Channel, Cape Town TV. This morning we have a guest with us, Dr. Jude Clarke, who's going to talk to us on the theme of wellness and how important it is for even aging people to take particular care of their whole well-being, including mental wellness. Welcome to the show, Jude. Yes. For starters, won't you just tell us about yourself and your professional life?
Thank you. It's lovely to have this conversation with you, Joan. So it's hard for me to speak about my professional life without telling you a little bit about the personal.
Yes.
Because one of the things about wellness is that we believe that the professional is personal as well.
Yes.
That we bring our personal lives into our professional space. So a tiny bit about me. I'm from the sugarcane farms of the north coast of KwaZulu-Natal.
The kingdom.
The kingdom of KwaZulu. I'm from a big family and a community of mixed race people. And from a young age, I could see some of the problems that rural communities, particularly communities of color, have. Alcoholism, sexual abuse, violence, gender-based violence, domestic violence. And I think I was sensitive to that. So from a young age, I always wanted to be a problem solver, as I'm sure you can relate.
Yes.
So trained to be a clinical psychologist. I specialized in trauma for many years, and then had burnout. And then asked myself, what does it mean to be well? And started over time, researching that question and thinking about wellness processes, mainly for women and mainly for people of color.
Okay, that's very interesting, because I'm now a senior person myself, and lived with my parents as they were aging, and with my mother in particular. She was always such a complex person, and we always had some idea that she's carrying a lot of childhood traumas and stuff that she didn't really get to resolve. How important do you think wellness is for senior people as they face end of life, that you can look back on your life and come to terms with your life story? I know that you developed this deep wellness series of retreats. Can you tell us about it and how it could be particularly useful for senior people?
Sure. So I think the notion of deep wellness is the desire to get to the root of our problems. So often we give a lot of our attention to the symptoms of our dis-ease, or what's on the surface, and we haven't really gotten used to going to the source or asking, where does this come from? And in a simple way, we carry historical woundedness, not just from our childhood, from our parents, from our grandparents, from ways of living. So when I talk about deep wellness, I talk about unearthing the baggage that we carry from very long ago. So we're talking about oppression, particularly those of us who are over 50, over 60, over 70, we've been through a specific historical experience of oppression that might have manifested in our childhood in certain ways, certain kinds of violences. And all the invitation is, for deep wellness, is to go a bit deeper than just the surface. Scary and needs courage, but necessary. And you know, when I think about it, the older generation was not encouraged to draw on support. The older we get, the more the expectation is that our role is to support others.
Yes, yeah,
And we
indeed.
do that very well, and we neglect thinking or asking, what support do I need? What do I need to work through?
Yeah.
And many of our parents and grandparents do go to their grave without finding some deep wellness or wholeness.
Yes. Yeah. That we really, at this time of our life, where we are entering into the third phase or the final phase, that we are able to enjoy good health, but also spiritual and complete wellness. Thank you so much, Jude, for sharing your program with us, and we wish you well. And you brought such a calmness here into this room immediately, so I can imagine what a whole day or a weekend retreat would be, making use of your professional skills and all the experience that you have now gained in working with communities. Thank you so much.
And I wish you deep wellness.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Jude. You really make one think, and I know you've been inviting me to your deep wellness workshop, and I keep saying I don't think I'm ready, because I think I'm just going to break down and dissolve into a whole puddle of tears and not know how to put myself together again. But soon I will take up your offer to join the workshop. Sybil, that was just so wonderful and so important for us to know that health is not just about aches and pains. It's not just about the physical. It's about deep spiritual and mental health as well. We're now going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be talking to Sybil about some pain and grief that she's had in her life. We'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to Old is Gold, where we are talking about deep wellness, which encompasses the physical, the spiritual, the mental, in a whole wholeness of being well. Sybil, you've been through some tough times recently, hey?
Yeah.
And I know that losing Pat was a real blow,
Yeah.
and especially because it came so suddenly.
You know, Joan, I can really relate on what Dr. Clarke was saying about mental health and spiritual wellness. Seniors are carrying a lot of pain inside. It is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a song saying, it's not an easy road. It is not an easy road to lose someone. It affects you mentally.
Yes, of course.
It actually affected me as well.
Yeah. And in South Africa, we have so much encounters with overwhelming pain. We have these terrible murders that happen. We've dealt with COVID now, or we're still dealing with COVID, and the overwhelming number of deaths that families are facing, especially multiple deaths in one family. And you can't get together and support each other because you have to be socially distant and all of that.
Especially this COVID, Joan. This COVID, you lose almost the whole family. You lose your mother, your father, your sisters, same time.
Yes, yeah.
Immediately.
Oh, that's hard.
Imagine for those one who are left behind.
Yes, yeah.
How are they going to cope?
Yeah, I must tell you this little story. I was in the shop in Kleinmond about 2 weeks ago, and we were just two customers in the shop, and the one was busy paying for her goods, and she was relaying to the teller how she had just lost a dear friend, and then she recounted how in a whole circle of friends she's lost all her friends, and it's because this one who just passed was the last one to go, and she's saying that it makes her wonder what's happening in heaven, because all of them are now there and she's the only one not there, and she
Imagine.
yes, and she said she prayed, my Here Jesus, kan jy nou nie vir my ook wegvat nie, want hulle dink seker ek is na die warme plek toe.
It's so sad, Joan.
Yeah.
You're losing someone you love, number one. Seniors are going through a lot.
Yeah.
You're losing your house.
Yes.
And you're losing your pension.
Yes.
You're losing so many things.
Yeah.
And all it's
and you're having to deal with children
it's
and
a
grandchildren
pain.
who are on drugs.
It's a pain, sweetie.
Yes.
Let me tell you, when I lost my husband, it was a terrible pain. I never thought I would be able to sit here and talk to anyone. Mentally, I thought I was going to be admitted in Falkenberg Hospital.
Yeah.
But through the support of my family.
Yes. Very important.
Very, very important. And Joan, also I told myself that who is going to love me again? Myself.
Yes.
You need to love yourself.
Yes.
You need to give yourself space.
Yeah.
And breathe, and tell yourself that life must move on.
Yes.
Otherwise, who is going to love you again? Make yourself happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So the journey was a long journey for me.
Yes.
Immediately after my husband, remember my husband died of heart attack in front of me.
Yes.
And we are only living together. Our children are away.
Yes.
One was in PE and one is in Joburg. So, and I was having this mind of, now I'm going to be alone in this house. I'm in such a big house alone. And my husband was like my darling,
of course,
like my brother, like everything to me. And I thought to myself, what else am I going to do? Then I thought, oh, gosh, I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm going to survive again. But through my family support and my neighbors, it's good to have good neighbors.
Yes.
And I was engaged immediately to the gym. Immediately after my husband's death. And
that must have surprised some people.
In our society, they expect you to moan and wear black. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to wear anything black. I'm going back so that my mind can be occupied.
Yes,
I was back on jogging as early as 5 o'clock in the morning. And people were talking stories about me. I wonder if she's right mentally. She's back a week after the funeral. They don't know the pain that I was. I had this heavy heart. Pain, Then I went immediately back to work. I was back to work immediately. And my supervisor told me straight away that take a leave. And I said, I can't.
Yes.
Because I work with community. And I wanted to be with the community so that I don't think anything about my husband.
And I saw
that helped me a lot.
Yeah. And I saw and I think that experience helped you so much in helping other people through their grief. Yeah, I saw the little reel that you showed, the video clip that you showed of the workshop that you had. Tell us about that.
Now I can go and testify.
Yes.
About the whole thing. People are inviting me to go and talk about how to grieve.
Yes.
So I was in town, to all women who are really experiencing the very same thing.
Yeah.
How to grieve. So I was there, and what a day. People were crying, explaining and talking to me that their families were not accepting them. If they must wear this black all the time.
Yes,
And when you wear this black, you look like somebody. that's what I will say. I was looking like, you know, when you look at somebody, like somebody who is evil or so.
Yeah.
But then other people said it's cultural thing and
Yeah,
so on.
you've got to go through the
I'm not
rituals.
I'm not going to dispute that, but that's how I feel
Yeah, and that
about
was your journey.
myself. That was my
Yes,
journey.
I think
So
that's so
I
important.
spoke about everything, and people were crying and telling them their own journey, that their in-laws were shouting them, you know, and they were not supporting them, and
Yeah,
so on and so on and so on.
yeah.
But it was a fruitful workshop.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Sybil. And I'm so glad to see you so back to the old Sybil that
Oh
we
well,
knew. Yeah.
you need to, yes, you need to
Full
tell
of
yourself
life,
that
full of life.
life
Yes.
is life. You must move on.
Yes, absolutely. And that brings us to the other side of wellness. That joy and happiness is the foundation of being of deep wellness. And that's what we're going to look at after the break. Do stay with us and be back while we just do a short commercial break.
Welcome back to our show. Old is gold. Igolide endala enexabiso. Kukho into endizilibeleyo uzithetha. You know, when you are going through a lot, xa ugriva, if you need to cry, I just want to say that. If you need to cry, cry. I used to go into my room and cry. That helps. It's
Yes.
a healing.
Yes.
They said time is a healer. That was very good for me. It was a best medication to cry. And amaXhosa athi indoda ayikhali, a man don't cry. Uyakwenzakala ndoda ndini. If uzawumamela loo nto leyo, ngena ekamereni okanye wherever you feel like it's comfortable to be, and cry if you need to cry. After crying, there's that
Relief
relief
and release.
and
Yeah.
release that, oh gosh,
That's really.
iphumile laa nto ngoku, iphumile laa nto ngoku. Ndiyambulela uThixo nyhani ngoba indlela endandidla ngokhala ngayo, and ndahilisha msinyane because I cried.
Yes.
By doing that, my journey was,
Yes.
made
easier. Yes. And
easier.
lighter.
Yeah, and lighter.
And another thing that you can do to make your journey with grief lighter is to get involved in some activity. And in this segment of the show, we are going to show some seniors in Bellville South who are doing just that. And you can just feel the joy and happiness and lightness that they are experiencing as part of their journey through aging and all the phases and stages of aging. So we trust that you will enjoy it. We're going to be interviewing Mary Davids, who leads this Proteaville Senior Fitness Program.
Vir ons 'n riem onder die hart dat ons uitgenooi was om hierdie deel te wees van hierdie program. En ons wil hierdeur baie dankie sê aan die organiseerders wie vir ons genooi het om deel te wees, om ons deel te doen, asook om hierdie onderhoud te hê. Binne 2 jaar sal ons klub 25 jaar oud wees en dan gaan ons 'n fees vier. En wat ons nou besluit het, ons wil graag 'n boek uitbring waar ons die geskiedenis van Proteaville Fitness Club saamvat in hierdie boek. So ons wil ook vra indien daar enige een is wie ons wil 'n donasie gee of wie ons aan die hand wil neem om dit te bereik, sal ons dit baie waardeer. Ek wil ook aan die klublede sê baie dankie vir wat julle insit in hierdie klub. En ons hierdeur kan ons net hoër hoogtes bereik en ons kan net alle suksesse bereik as ons aangaan soos ons nou aangaan. Weereens baie dankie organiseerders, ons waardeer dit baie. Dankie. Mary Karelse.
What a joy it is to see senior people moving and enjoying each other's company and being active, and I'm sure many of them, if you sat down with them, they could be going through some really tough stuff right now. But just the experience of each other and movement and music just takes that burden away, just like Sybil described.
Yeah, Joan, thank you. They say in English, time is a healer.
Yes.
So I am healed. I'm back to gym.
Yes.
Every morning I'm back to track. I can't wait now for September to go back to jog again. And make your time for yourself so that you can be active again and have joy
Yes,
with
absolutely.
you. And have joy
Yes,
with you.
yes.
you
Joy
know?
and happiness as the foundation of good health and well-being. This was our show, Oldies Gold, for today, dealing with issues of deep wellness, grief, movement, joy, and exercise, because all of these things encompasses our lives.
And then after everything, grieving and everything, remember, joy comes in
the morning. That's our show for today, folks. Do join us next week again on Oldies Gold. My name is Joan Daries, and you are on CTV channel 263, the People's Channel.
Thank you, guys.
Ooh.